Life was looking up for Frank Leone. In 6 short months, he'd be a free man.
Take it. Being transferred.
For what? I didn't do nothing!
But someone from his past is about to turn back the clock.
Welcome to Gateway, Leone.
Sylvester Stallone. Lock up.
Hey folks, man, this is Monk, and we are back with another episode of Classes of Cinematics, and I'm joined as always my co-host. We got Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo.
Yeah, folks, man, today we got a special film, and we're going to be talking about Sylvester Stallone's Lock Up from 1989, and this is a genre that really disappeared at this point.
Yes.
If you think about it, like the prison kind of action drama film,
Right?
I remember they was coming in waves. I mean, we had Van Damme, he had the Death Warrant, and we was getting joints. The last thing I could think about maybe was the Undisputed series, and I think eventually they even got out of prison
And then
after a while.
You had a couple spot checks. I know Master P had that one Lockdown, but that was like in the 2000s. And then what was the one that we did about the train?
Runaway Train.
Runaway Train.
Yeah, but see, Runaway Train was coming in the era where these was coming out. Like, I mean, you think about Penitentiary and those kind of films, but this one is coming off late 80s, early 90s. There was probably some after that, you know, and then you get things like Shawshank Redemption that were more serious in tone. But to see this kind of thing, it hasn't really been done in a while. They just kind of went away, man. But the story's crazy. Stallone is you know, he's got a little bit time left in his sentence. He's been going away on the weekends doing work. He's getting work furloughs, and he's probably got like maybe a couple months left. And then the crazy thing is, he's also a guy that has been escaping over the year. This is where it gets a little goofy with me. So, a little bit of time left on the sentence. He gets transferred to another more high security gateway prison.
He goes 6 months left on his sentence, bro. He goes from minimum security to maximum security prison because the warden of the now Gateway Maximum Security Prison has a hard-on for him because way back in the day in Treadmore, Sylvester Stallone escaped because pretty much he had his mentor, this elderly guy, was on his deathbed, and his dying wish was to see Sylvester Stallone one more time before he passed. Sylvester Stallone had 2 weeks left on an 18-month sentence, was a model prisoner, and he asked the warden, and he was like, yo, you know, can I just visit the guy for an hour, you know, give me an arm guard, whatever. The warden said no. So he took it upon himself to escape, visit with the guy, and then, of course, you know, you hear the warden, he's like, oh, and then, you know, the media and the press made you out to be a hero, made me out to be a villain. They send you to a hotel cakewalk, you know, minimum security prison. They send me to hell.
That's where it falls apart to me. If you try to, you know, the story on that element, I'm like, come on, bro. No one's going to really risk it all with 2 weeks left and the breakout. And I don't even see a warden being that crazy. It's nutty. It's B-movie stuff, man. It's just enough to get the plot going.
It is.
So majority of the movie is him being in this new prison, the Gateway, the hardcore joint, to finish out the rest of his time. And so while that's going on, the crazy warden is messing with him the whole time.
Messing with him in every way possible. He's sending henchmen out there. I mean, the bully of the yard wants to get him, and he's just sitting up in the press box watching the savages get savage. You know, but one thing that I do like about this story is, in this movie as a whole, is it has more heart than it knows what to do with. You know what I'm saying? And conceptually, it emphasizes the fact that everybody that's doing time or has done time is not a bad person, okay? Sometimes bad people or good people do bad things and they make mistakes, and, you know, so
it humanizes a lot of the people, you know, here. They're not just blanket stereotypes.
No. I mean, everybody in here is not trying to, like, you know, learn how to be a better criminal in jail and try to hurt people in every way possible.
I think this film walks an awkward line where it's core, it's exploitation, but at the same time, it, like you said, the heart kind of fucks you up. It's like a tone, the unbalance of the tones, because I didn't expect the heart in this film. You know, in the film, like you don't expect that. Like you look at like I said, Jean-Claude Van Damme's Death Warrant. Ain't no heart in that. Heart. It's just testosterone
ass kicking and karate
and
the Sandman
and hardness
and Van Damage.
Yeah, it's not. But this film, I think, elevates to me. The critics panned it, but I think there's more working under the surface here.
Absolutely,
it's got a lot of really good human, quiet moments that I think are my favorite parts of the film.
Yes, and like you said, it humanizes the inmates, and it gives us a good character balance. Like, yes, we never lose sight of the fact that we are in a prison setting, and there are bad people in there that are rough around the edges, are willing to do the worst of the worst to you. But there are a lot of people that they're just trying to keep their head down, keep quiet, do their time, and also in the meantime, in between time, make friends and do the right things with their time. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really cool. But what we get, outside of this story that's kind of chopped up, is we get some great scenes in here. One of my personal favorite is the football scene. Okay, this is the pit, dog.
He hit the icky shuffle.
Yes, he hits the icky shuffle. Yes, he hits the icky shuffle. So pretty much, dog.
I just noticed that.
The bully on the yard is just, he's finding any which way that he can mess with Frank Leone, and he hits him with the ball, and then this other dude starts running his mouth. So of course Frank is pulled into this game. Dog, they're playing in a straight mud pit. There's no grass, there's no concrete. It's just mud. They got the Gladiator power music playing in the background, and it's pretty much everyone versus Sylvester Stallone. And I mean, it's like even one of the people watching the football game is like, man, this ain't a game, it's a lesson. I mean, and it's just going down bad for him. He's getting hit every which way.
It's goofy to me because the warden could have done way different stuff to torture him, but to encompass it around this game,
around this football game. But then yet again, like, we're watching this and we're like, oh my gosh, we're feeling so bad for Stallone as he's just getting manhandled.
I'm laughing at him because it's funny to me, because it's like like I said, the premise is ridiculous, but it's fun to see him trying so hard. He's like, fuck it. And also his character, his background, not only does he get out to go fix cars on the weekend, but they let him play football
with the neighborhood kids. so I mean, talk about,
he's a good quarterback. It's like Al Bundy.
Exactly, but
Al Bundy doing community service.
Now he's playing with grown-ups his own age, man. It ain't as easy. But dude, the thing of it is, what I like is, like I said, it always keeps the emotional compass at the forefront. We were watching him just get his head cracked. I mean, they are hitting during this scene, okay? Yeah. And
it gives action too.
The cool thing about it is there was no stunt doubles. They were really out there head cracking. They were really hitting. There was a part where Stallone said he got tackled. He thought he broke his leg in real life, not in the movie.
There's that one part where he's walking back by himself.
He gets banged, limping, dog. He gets banged,
and he's limping.
And the cool thing is then, like, after enough is enough, and then another inmate who's just like the size of an apartment building, he comes and he's like, man, I'm gonna help him out, and I love this dude. His name's Eclipse. He comes out, he's like, man, throws the other guy across the field, like, yeah, get on the other side, and then he gets his moment too, where it's just, it gives us another opportunity to see some of the good people that are in this movie as a whole, man. Just love the football scene. It's an adrenaline rush for me every time I watch.
And also, it gives us action, man. For this to be billed as a Stallone action film, there's really not a whole lot. You get that scene, and I guess maybe the final confrontation between him and the evil CO. You know what I'm saying? In the water shit, but this thing, man.
One more scene real quick that I really like is the fixing the car montage.
Yeah.
The fixing the car montage was really cool, because that also gives a sense of hope. We see these guys, they get something to hold on to. They take this car that's just I mean, even Stallone gets quotable of the year in the one, and in this B-rate movie, he's like, nothing's dead till it's buried. Woo, let's fix this car that's never started before in years. And but they all come together and they make it happen.
I'm surprised the warden even financed this shit.
That's what I'm saying.
These mugs got new pistons. They build a whole block. Like, it's crazy. But but you're right. I do love that moment. It brings a camaraderie. He's getting along. He gets a spark, to this messed up situation. Yeah, they all do. It gives them up, and then the warden comes through and bang, bang. But the warden does that after my man. That's dope too, man. It's like, I love that scene too. With what's that? Is his name First Base?
First Base.
Yeah, played by Larry Romano, and he's a kid. He's in there. He's like 20-something years old, maybe early 20s, but he's got like life pretty much.
Double life.
And it's messed up because he's in there. He's basically saying, they got the car there. He's like, yo, let me start it up one time, boss. And then he's like, all right, man, fuck it. There ain't no harm in that. You can turn it on real quick, but he loses it. Like I think the realization of what he's got facing coming forward, because prison breaks men all the time.
Yes.
Like we don't talk about that a lot, but just psychologically, and maybe he just realized this is it, and it's like, fuck it, let me get one last thrill, and he goes in, and honestly, there's what can you do to me? You gonna throw me in a hole for a little bit? I already got life, bro.
He's doing double life.
Yeah,
and the thing is the way he gears it up to Stallone. He's like, man, he tells him why he's in there. He's like, man, I'm 20 years old, and he was talking about how he had a girlfriend, but she stopped writing him. He was like, man, I'm never gonna see a girl again. I never even learned how to drive. And that's when Stallone, he tugged his heartstrings. He was like, all right, start her up.
I love that. And my man peels out, and it's a cool scene because he's wheeling through the yard. But that's funny to me, man. So there's shots of him inside behind the wheel, like yeah. But then when you see the coming around the corner, if you pause the screen, it's some old 40-year-old dude behind the wheel, like a stunt driver, and I'm just it cracked me up, I can see it. It's like
so First Base turned to third base.
Yeah, he came home, bro. He's about to go home to the ancestors, bro. This dude behind the wheel was looking like,
oh man,
he was looking like a driver instructor on License to Drive. We might have to do that one too.
Yeah, License to Drive. That's wild. That's a wild flick.
But let's get into the characters, man. Because he's one of the great ones, man. First Base, but of course we got Stallone, Frank Leone. It looks like he has an auto shop. I don't know.
He worked with the old guy in the auto shop.
Okay, that's
the old guy taught him everything he knows about cars, and that's why he was so hell bent on seeing him on his deathbed.
So that's why he's going back on the weekend. That's where we see him.
That's where so he's gonna reopen up the shop, and then of course he's got the support of his girlfriend, who is the only female cast member in this whole
Darlene
movie.
Flegel.
There you go. Shout out to her for
I don't know what else she's been in. She plays.
I don't know that.
Is his wife Melissa or his girlfriend?
I'm assuming girlfriend. I don't know.
She gives him a ring though. Is that the engagement? I don't know what the hell.
It was supposed to. It's messed up. I'm glad you brought that up.
Gotta be his wife because he had a conjugal.
She gave him a good luck charm on the day he got transferred to maximum security prison. So I don't know how much good luck it is.
Yeah, no, she cursed me with that. But then we,
real quick, with Stallone, like I said, he's just what I like about him is just like it doesn't just show like that he's a good inmate. He's like an all around good dude. Like every time he's on screen, you just see how wholesome he is. He's like he uplifts everyone around him, which I think that really kind of gives his character like this aura, this energy that this kind of a film needs circumstantially because it's where it's taking place at. You know what I mean?
We get the OG Donald Sutherland, man, and it's funny to even see him in this film, hamming it up. But I like him. Like you love to hate him. He does enough here to be that guy that's just a super dick for no reason.
He has the evilest name ever. His name is Warden Drumgoole. It sounds like something that you would just read in some kind
one of
of
my favorite moments
novel.
though is when Frank first gets there and he's in this damn the execution room.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, man, I had this thing put back in the working condition.
Yeah.
And I was like, for what?
And then he rings off the bodies they caught.
The death penalty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? It's just,
killed 109 men and 2 women.
It's just crazy way to build up the bad guy's badness. And it's goofy. But it's still funny just to see Donald Sutherland delivering these lines, man.
And with Donald Sutherland being the big bad in this, I really like what we get in the little bad Sonny Landham as Chink Weber. He is the enforcer. He's the grit on the field, the yard bully. And I mean, if he's not giving 150% in this, I don't know what it looks like because he embodies the role
man.
of what
he's good. He's good at being bad, man.
He really is, and it's cool because you might recognize him from films like Predator or 48 Hours. He had a spot check in Action Jackson.
He was that bad guy.
Yeah, but in this,
why you looking for Papa Doc?
Yeah,
was that him?
I think it was him.
Yeah, that was him.
But this is like one of his meatiest roles where he's got a lot of dialogue. He's got a lot of just a lot of screen time
and his
presence just on all phases, and it's really It's really cool to see how much effort and energy he's putting into being this bad guy.
That surprised me, Tom Sizemore, man. And it's crazy because he was a guy that really was really good at one point, but then, I don't know, I think he lost, drugs and alcohol kind of jacked him up, man. He kind of died, before he should have. I mean, 61
this was his film debut.
Ain't that old. That was?
This is his film debut. And they said that Stallone gave him this chance, and up until the day he passed, they still remained close friends because he always appreciated the opportunity that Stallone gave him in this film.
Yeah, and but he's good in this, man. He's probably the first other inmate that Frank befriends, in this film. And they, it is interesting because they bond over Frank's escape. And I love that first scene where he brings it up. He's like, yeah, man, I'm thinking about doing this. And I guess he thinks of Frank as an expert. And Frank's looking at this, he's like, well, what about this? And that. He's like, and then he's like, damn, you right. And he crumbles this shit up. But through after
Dream
that,
crusher.
They remain close, man. He kind of tells Frank what's going on in there.
And Dallas is that, like, I can get you anything, anytime kind of inmate. There's always one in the jail movies. Like, you need this, I got you, got the hookup.
And the crazy thing, though, is, later on when that shit happens, when he betrays Frank, it kind of hits in a way. It's like, even though it's a goofy,
it still hurts.
I feel like it was cheap writing to do it like that, but it's still, you're still like, damn, dude, that's fucked up.
Because
but then he kind of redeems it by, he's like,
an ultimate act of falling on the sword.
But then I save you with the electrical shit, and like, it's
you're
crazy,
wrong. But my guy is Frank McRae, who plays Eclipse. Like, this guy is just like, he defines the word gentle giant. He is good at and every time he's on screen, he's just got this smile that lights up a room. And he has worked with Stallone in a lot of films. Like, they were in Paradise Alley together. They were in Fist. They were also in he was my man that was in Batteries Not Included.
You gotta bring that one up too.
Yes,
man.
that's a good one.
Movie.
But he just
he played what was the one where he played the police chief?
Oh, that was was
that Loaded Weapon? Or
no
48 Hours?
I think it's 48 Hours. It was the police chief. And and he just like, he's just so wholesome. And the thing of it is with his character is like, you see that, like, when it comes time to get nitty gritty, like, he will. Like, you see it in the football game. My favorite part is when he lays this dude out, and the dude's like, oh, what hit me? And he stands over him. He's like, F train, son.
But it's goofy because he's like, why you helping me? When he jumps in, he's like, you look like you need some help, and I needed to exercise.
Exactly. I mean, shit. My man Big is a small mountain, so I mean, shit.
Shout out to John Amos, my favorite CO in this thing.
Oh man,
because what's interesting, man. Who's the other guy? It's him and Braden and played by William Allen Young, and then Amos plays Meisner, and they're they're the lead COs in this joint, man.
Yeah,
and it's interesting to see because they're the ones that go pick him up from. What's the other place called?
Norwood.
They pick him up from Norwood, take him to Gateway, and he's just giving them. It's almost like the beginning of American Me, where they giving him the rundown. Like, ain't nobody talking when I'm talking, fellas. And basically, he said, you don't mess with messing her. I'm messing her. Like, and but it's interesting to see him soften by the end. He doesn't get fully soft, but he warms up. Both of them warm up to Frank's character as they see what he's going through, and they realize he's not bullshit.
He's not. What's happening is wrong.
And they realize the warden is being extra dickish. It's not like we're being tough. And I think they provide an antithesis to the other COs,
because there are two that just love their job too much, and nothing's going to change them. But the rest of them, they kind of gain a conscience. I mean, everybody has a job to do. What I'm saying? COs have to keep the order. You know what I'm saying? But there's a way of still doing it without using dominant brute force or being belittling or treating people like animals in cages.
And Amos has a certain charisma. I don't know if it because of my years of watching Good Times, but I ain't trying to get on his bad side.
No.
When he says something, I'm going to jump. It's like I don't know what it is, man.
He has a stone face, dude. Like he is unfurled when he looks. Just very.
And it's crazy, like to see him in this role, and then I think maybe a year later or a couple Coming to America, man, that might have been
was that before this? 90 or not? No, that was definitely 80s.
That was actually the year before this. So to see him playing that warm and colorful dad character to this hardened, like, and I think also not so long after this, he's kind of he was the lead of the guys in Die Hard 2.
Yeah,
so, he's a guy that I wish did more movies, man. Except I did watch Beastmaster recently. Come on, son.
Yeah. Beastmaster, no bueno. But and it's wild as we look at this cast list. They give credit to Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo apparently is in this. He's supposed to be one of Chink Weber's, Sonny Landham's, one of his gang members. But I have watched this movie a lot, and I just can't pick him out of the crowd.
Was he on the phone or some shit?
I have no idea.
I didn't know. Yeah, I would have felt like I would have noticed.
You know what I'm saying? But
he is credited on here.
He is credited, and he's credited on various sources. So apparently he's in there somewhere, but he just gets kind of lost in the crowd.
It might. I think I might have seen him. It looked like his hair, his mustache looked like it would have been
right.
But
then again, there's no point in this movie where he's flexing the big chest hat. That's his.
If he's in here, maybe his scene got cut. Otherwise, he's just a glorified extra.
Yeah,
that's all I can.
Pretty
think
much.
Of.
I mean, because this was definitely before he made it to top tier quality.
Yeah. Maybe it was the scene where they killed First base. I don't know. I can't.
And then speaking of him too, as Larry Romano, I think he did good as the green guy. He adds to the emotional compass, like because he's the guy when you watch this movie. I
don't think he was that. Well, yeah, you know what? He was new.
Yeah.
Big Cuz was pressing him in the kitchen.
And they were trying to chump him out. And I mean, you watch this and you see, like, okay, if anything's going to happen to anybody, it's going to be him. And you kind of don't want to see it happen, but you know it's going to. So,
I wonder if they got paid for being in this movie, though, the inmates. Because I'm in the background. Like, do I get the extra rate? Can I get a SAG card? And we in here. Our performances is in this film for generations, like we
outside. Yeah, you see Eclipse when they banging up the Mustang dog. He dropped the one tear. Maybelline.
Oh my God.
He named the Mustang Maybelline.
That man, Oscar for pulling that off.
Yes, the one tear. But you know how hard it is to cry one tear drop.
How deep he had to dig the cry for this Mustang.
I'm gonna need my left eye to work and the right one to shut down. Come on, give it to me. But and it's wild too, because outside of the COs that we already have given credit to, the rest of the COs were real COs, man. Yeah, so okay. I mean
that will make sense though, because you got to have some control.
Yeah,
like, and you can only hire so much security. I don't know what goes into doing this, man, because this film is interestingly enough, man. You get to that. Let's talk about this prison a little bit. It's shot in Broadway Prison, which is a real functioning prison, and it's not like they didn't shut the prison down at all to do this, man. No. So And the crazy thing too is, man, this movie was thrown together so fast. It's like Stallone had a limited window to film it. I heard that while they were in Broadway, like they didn't even have a script yet. Like my man was scouting locations before.
Yes,
and they still didn't have a script done.
They were making it up on the fly.
On the fly.
That's why, like I said, I can't say this enough. The amount of energy and heart that went into this film, because I mean, they were just improvised acting. You know what I'm saying? So that's a testament to Stallone as lead actor and everybody else involved in this. But
they were fortunate enough to also get Stallone with his experience as writing, to be able to help them fill in on the gaps from the script,
And also what I do like about the fact that this is shot in a real prison, it adds to this grittiness that this film does try to give us on screen, and it gives it an authentic, realistic look and feel. With like I said, the only thing that you can kind of bash this film for is the shortcomings on the story. Everything else, to me, is A quality.
Yeah, like you watch something like Shawshank, all those guys they're Hollywood dudes, man.
Yeah.
And just because that's a period film, this film at the time it came out was built to more depict the current time frame. You know, it's not like Alcatraz or nothing like that. So to get that prison, they probably saved them a lot of money on a budget. And crazily enough, my uncle's in this thing, bro. I got my uncle is in this movie. There's a scene where Stallone first gets to the yard. And my uncle Stallone's on the bench, and my uncle's behind him curling, doing the curls really bad. Like he's like, you're supposed to go like this. He's digging with his back to get. Maybe that was his way to get on scene on camera or what. But he's in this movie for like a total of like maybe 7 to 8 seconds, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's my uncle, and that's the craziness of this film because they use real inmates. He was serving time here at the time. Like, I don't know what he was in there for. But he turned his life around. He's been living good for decades now. You know,
there you go. And that's the crazy thing too, because like I said, bringing it back to the cool football scene. Like I said, there was no stunt doubles. They did have some inmates on the field that were actually tackling people.
That's
you know
crazy,
what I'm saying?
bro.
And I mean, just to use the inmates as extras in this film. Like I said, it just adds to the intense vibe that this has. And just a little side note: Chuck Wepner, he's the real life inspiration for Rocky. Okay, he was serving time in this prison as well when this film was shot.
Wow. And also, from what I understand, I think the inmates that were, it wasn't like it was open. Like, really, the ones that were in this film are the people that demonstrated good behavior and stuff like that. People that they felt like it wasn't as risky to have them. And one of the interesting things when I speak about how the script wasn't done, there was you look up IMDb where the director says, I'm sitting here in Broadway on this tier and we don't got a script. And it's like luckily, you know, Stallone was a cool guy and he just bantered with the inmates until the script actually, the pages that we needed to film that they actually showed up. That's how on the fly this thing was made. And honestly, it could have been worse. The critics hated it, but I think for what it is, I think they did a good job, man. Maybe if they got a couple more weeks to shoot it and maybe a few more months to work on the writing, it probably would have came out overall a lot better. But it is what it is, and I think for them to pull off what they did with what they had to work with in such a short time, I think it works for me, dog. It's not a great super. It's not like I'm gonna throw it up here like, oh, this thing needs an Oscar. But for entertainment, I'm entertained.
It's high entertainment value. I'm locked in from start to finish. I mean, it was on a $24 million budget and it pulled back $22 million. So they only took a $2 million loss. But when one cool thing,
I feel like the video rentals did
absolutely.
My grandma went to see this because my uncle was in it.
And I was just about to say, my fondest memory of this film is my mother took me and my brother to see the sneak or the early release of this film when it first came out, or 2 days before it was supposed to officially release, and they gave out lock-up like tank tops, man. I mean, my brother was rocking our lock-up tank tops the next day, dog.
Crazy.
No muscles at all. We were too young. I was 7. I had no muscles when I was 7.
I do want to point out those funny tank tops when they take him from what's this place, Freedom Land or
Freedom Land?
I don't know.
It's Norway.
Oh, Norway. When they take him from Norway to Gateway.
Or Norwood.
They come in his cell. He's got on the tank top and his briefs. But then once he's out of the cell, all of a sudden he's got pants on. It's like a weird messed up it's like a weird continuity thing, man. With this
another thing that I do like about the movie, I do like the music all the way around. Like I said, when
Bill Conti, that's crazy.
That worked with him on
crazy.
Rocky. That's great.
They got Bill Conti.
The score. I mean, it starts off. It's got the somber music. Some stuff's going on. I mean, and then that car montage, dude. It's Ides of March vehicle. That's what's playing. That's that joint rocks. And then instantly, as they start to destroy the car, it's like they're playing this sad score. Almost, you want to get your Eclipse one tear dropping. I mean, it's like, oh man, this is so terrible.
It's wild, man. I mean, ultimately, Frank gets up out of this mess up situation, but like I still, I don't know, man. Like this is one of the ones, like when I throw it on, I just sit back and just enjoy what I get. There are some holes in the plot and some goofy stuff, but overall, like, I love this thing, man.
That's it. I mean, if I were to put it in simplest form like this, okay, your top tier Stallone flicks easily. Anyone could put the blindfold on in the dark. Rocky, Rambo, Cobra, top tier. Okay, but second tier, and this is no discredit to them, would be this Demolition Man and Cliffhanger, which all of those films, all 6 are entertainment. They have high entertainment value. You know what I'm saying? And they aim to please. And this one is no different. Like I enjoy this film for various reasons.
It's interesting. There was a rivalry with him and Schwarzenegger, but I think he's probably the superior product. It's just that Schwarzenegger's product just was such bigger and had more mass appeal. I can't see Schwarzenegger doing the film like this. He does. I don't think he has the chops to carry those small moments like Stallone does in this, man. You know.
Well, it's funny that you bring them two up because the next time that Stallone did appear in a prison film, he was paired with Arnold Schwarzenegger in Escape Plan.
Well, that's that. I mean, I don't count that. That's like, what was that? 2015,
something like that.
2013, something. Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen that. But I'm not looking at it.
The other movie that came out in 1989, where Stallone also did a little stretch in prison, was Tango and Cash.
Ah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a whole different animal, man.
Yeah, that is a completely different.
But it's goofy, man, because they were beefing, and Stallone was in his. Stallone was like I said, I was joking earlier. He's like 5'9", and he was still trying to hit the gym and try to outdo this 6'2" Austrian. like, bro, nah, you gotta relax, man. You know,
I mean, and the thing is, I mean, when there's really no comparison. They can beef whatever they are, competitive, competition, whatever, in the film world. But they're two completely different actors. I mean, Stallone is like a total package. He can write, he can direct, he can, act in his own films, and he brings a certain dynamic that, at this time in the 80s and early 90s, Schwarzenegger, I don't want to say he was a one-trick pony, but he was more limited in the things that he could do or bring on screen.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect, because Schwarzenegger was a blockbuster. I don't think there was a Schwarzenegger film that came out between 85 and 2000 that probably that flopped. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. Well, yeah, man, I think we can bring this thing around, man. This is one, like I said, man, this is like a hidden gem for me. Probably, maybe I'm a little biased because of the personal connection to it.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think it's as terrible as the critics say, man. And I kind of wish, more films these days had this kind of tone, man. Like I think when we get something like this, say if we had a film remake, they're gonna take so much time to make sure all those details are correct. It kind of takes the fun out of it.
Yeah.
And like I don't watch this. I know I'm watching a movie.
Yes.
And I think a lot of filmmakers mess up these days where they try to go for reality so much, and I'm like, bro, yeah, but I live reality every day. I don't want to see that on the screen. Take me to a place. Show me some things in a fantastical way or in a crazy manner.
Yes.
Have fun with it.
And for me, I'm with you 100%. I do. I have a very high like for this movie. I'm fond of it in every way. I will not bash it. And what I like about it most is when it comes to jail style films, most of them all the time they have such a negative context around them. You know what I'm saying? It's just they're hyper focused on all this negative stuff that could or could not be happening behind the walls, where this one just has this overlying, oversaturated positive vibe around it, even in the worst of situations, which I think that also just pushes it a step above some of the other films in its likeness, you know what I'm saying, and kind of puts it in a league of its own in its own right, respectively.
Sonny Landham took the Mustang emblem off the grill and made it to a belt buckle. Yeah. And he wore it in front of him
it's like, you like my belt buckle?
Yeah, man.
I mean, like I said,
nuts, man. This is great.
This movie is good. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I enjoyed every rewatch that I have with this. This is not something that I'll just watch just to do the show. I'll throw it on, just anytime, I'm in the mood, you know what I'm saying? Or if I catch it on TV, it's well worth the watch.
Yeah, definitely, man. What Bob said, man. And with that said, man, we're going to get out of here, man. Make sure you click the links below. Check out the merch, man. Also, subscribe to the channel, man. Share it with your friends. Tell everybody about it. Follow us at Classics of Cinematics on Instagram at Classics of Cinematics. And you can follow me at Monkey Blood on Twitter and Instagram.
This is Bobby Blockbuster. As always, you can catch me on the next show.
All right, y'all. We out here. Peace.